Greetings everyone, hello and welcome back to Manor Lords once more, to a new year. It's February, a new year that is dawning, year 2, and boy, it's going to be an exciting year because we can start with farming. Yeah, farming is going to be great, but of course, that's not the exciting thing. The exciting thing is that in this beautiful city that we're looking at right now, or village, yeah, there is a raider attack coming in. And with that, the raiders are near, the mission has been completed. And with that, raiders spawn somewhere on the map now, marching towards Abbott. They might just spawn in my territory, or they might just spawn somewhere a bit further away. We'll get the message there, hopefully, once this is happening. So until then, they're on the map now, and will be visible soon. Before they arrive, we can, of course, continue with the construction. So right now we have, 5 unassigned families. The food is actually, yeah, it's okay. I'd say 3 months. We're at the end of winter. And yeah, with the farming, we should have some very stuffed food supplies for the coming winter then. So everything here is now working out, right? The plowing is there. And we also have the ox that is helping us out here to do this. Enemy units have been spotted. There it is. And oh, alright, they're actually spawning right on my territory. I did not expect this. So let's actually... unequip them, rally the rest. We're going to have some nice nice slaughtering at the market, I guess. Everybody's going to arms. Yeah. They know what's at stake. It's their beautiful village. It's what they want to protect, their home, their only home. The villagers of Abbott coming together. Not really knowing right now what's expecting them. Also my professionals, where are they? Should be coming actually at the manor house first, right? Getting retinue, there it is, coming from the manor house. That's the professional soldiers. Get some better equipment and ornaments. And yeah, let's actually get them together here. With the snow, it's not that easy to see. And in this case, where are the brigands? There they are. How many? Must be more than that, right? Resources added to the inventory. Right. Hiding in the forest now again, so you can't always see them. That's the tricky thing. There they are. Coming in now. Let's actually get a bit further outside here. I don't want to have too many bodies there at the market. Could hurt business. And yeah, yep. Let's actually get the archers somewhere up here on the hill, so they can fire from up here. While my retinue actually might just jump in right away. I would rather lose my retinue than normal soldiers, right? Because normal soldiers are actually workforce. And there it is. These guys want my honey. And we're not letting them. So, already dying like flies. I think actually the archers are back to their original strength, right? So there it is. The will has been broken. And yeah, I think that's the end of it already. That was easy, right? The retinue was actually rather strong. We haven't lost a single soldier here with the retinue. It's just the bodies now lying around. Of a very, very failed attack here on Abbott. Before I disband, really, we're just going to wait a few more seconds, because there might still be bandits hiding in the forest, but other than that, I think we should be golden right now. Of course, the bandits were never really the biggest threat to us. I was not expecting this. It's the Baron, really, who has taken now, yeah, 5 territories, and he's on his way now to also conquer this one here. There's already some mercenaries of him in this region here. He's cleaning up some bandit camps, and is probably going to take them. This next territory. And of course that is my primary concern, because these soldiers that we have right now, they're not good for that. Let's disband. One thing I will need to do though is I'm going to need a corpse pit, right? So these guys are now lying around, and this is not great for morale, having dead bodies everywhere. So we want to bury them somewhere. Yeah, I don't know, deep in the forest. Where are we not going to build for a very long time? And it might really be just at the end of this whole village here, right? Yeah, this is looking like a good spot. It's far away. And what we still need, of course, is then a road connection to it. So this is no prop. There you go. All the way to this spot. And this is where we bury bandits and stuff like that. The normal citizens are getting buried, of course, at the church. And the rest in the body pit. We still will need, of course, a family working this. I think the corpse pit does not need any resources. So it should be actually finished quickly. It is March. Spring is upon us now. There is actually the Baron right now. Marching to another bandit camp. That's a few more soldiers, right? Very good. With spring also comes the berries, right? And my forager is already working again as the berry deposit is regrowing. For the wild animals, it's also actually growing again. So we're at 11. I've raised the limit though for the hunting grounds to 20. Some of you have been suggesting this, and I think it's a good idea because with 20 animals, that's half of what the deposit gives me. That means that we have a lot of hopefully recovering, right? And yeah, growth here again of deer that we can hunt down them. Funnily enough, I had a deer in my garden last night. And this just reminded me of it. And over here now, also the corpse pit is finished. So we are going to have a happy family working this. Yeah. Protect yourself. There might be some fleas and diseases. And yeah, we can also, not really see it yet. We can see it here. Bodies need burial. It's 6 of them. Soon we'll see this on the approval though too. So I should definitely take care of these bodies there. Alright, meantime, yes, this is what I wanted to see. The ox once again is working. For a happy harvest season here. We have 4 families here. I'm actually going to sign a 5th one because we do have the workforce and it can't hurt, right? That's a lot of plowing that needs to be done here. Only one of them has the ox right now, right? And that's a lot. That's actually some big fields there. So this is going to take a while, of course. Now, also what I would like to check out is the firewood and the charcoal. There's charcoal in, not that much, but I think it is fine. We do have a new woodcutter over here, right, for the firewood. Let's assign a family to this. And we're also going to make a work area once again to make sure that they're not going into the hunting ground, right? But he's rather going to work over here outside of the hunting ground. The same goes with the forester hut. We can assign a family to this now. And I'm also going to make it an assigned work area. That's super important. Otherwise, they're just going to do it everywhere. And this is certainly not something we want. And the same goes, of course, with the logging camp. We already assigned it. I would like to assign it again just to make sure that we're in the same radius as the forester, right? And the woodcutter. So this is quite the busy forest area now with 3 professions working in that, right? Together with, of course, the corpse pit over here at the edge of it as well. Perfect. Now we have 35 out of the 39 that we can still house. So we still have plenty of housing left. Money-wise, it's not that great. So we've used a lot of bows there. Shoes is actually fine. Yeah, we have 80 bows. We already have 2 families here. Where's my bows? Why is no one selling bows? I mean, we used a lot of bows right now out of the archer militia. That was a problem, of course, but still, we should have way more than that. It's 20 at the minimum. Let's actually raise it to 25 nonetheless. We're at 80, right? I could order a horse. That would speed things up because that's more transportation then. Or we could assign a 3rd family. Let's do this first. A 3rd family. That's a lot of stuff coming in. Alright, next in time is a Goldhof, the next territory, and that's over here. So this is the second last, and then he's probably going for Zweier, and then it's our territory, right? So the clock is ticking in this area as he continues to claim things that do not belong to him, honestly. It's rainy again. That is expecting of a spring era fuel, and food is really down to 2 months now. So in this year, we need to tackle the food problem. And that is now, of course, end of winter is always the most critical point, of course. But with all of this, it should be working. Both apiaries are now fully working. The families are assigned to this. The hunting deposit is the primary concern there as well, because we are still going to let it recover. So in this case here, there is the hunting limit of 20 at the moment. So up to this point, they're not going to hunt and thus produce me food. Now, this leaves the farm. The farm where people are now working, as we can see. And already sowing also has started for the coming season. Now, more people move in. I probably will need more manor houses. More burgage plots, that is. Now, another thing is the clay furnace. And with this one here, we have now the roof tiles, finally. A big surplus of roof tiles in my stock. And of course, roof tiles, since we do have the ability in this territory to have an infinite clay deposit, is going to be one of my primary export goods beside my war bows and my shoes. So let's also have the roof tiles. There they are, already export 25, and we already have the trade route activated here. The thing is, there it is now, 53 war bows finally coming in again. So this should lead to a nice profit there. 100 we have, and yeah, of course, we also want to continue then with also providing more farm area here as well. Another chicken coop perhaps in this area. There we have the goat chat. Yeah, we're really running out of food right now. We are growing too quickly. 120 people we have already, and not a single additional source of food so far until the harvest. Nothing really I can do about this. We are also negative on meat, so I think someone took up a loan of meat and he has to pay it back now. Of course, we could always import food as well with a bit of money, but I'm not doing this because I think we're still fine, right? We just grew a bit too quickly there. Actually, we'll also have another chicken coop here, and also here in the back, these plots there we can use for vegetable. That's actually going to grow this year still, just fine. And of course, we still want to grow further, so I'm going to add more houses yet. That would most likely be then another block here that we could use. Yeah, we could probably continue with this style here, right? And have a bit of a backyard there as well. Not too big though, because this is really deep in the city, so I don't want to have too many big fields there. And then probably this side area here too. Would it work? It would work just fine. Let's use it too. 4 families can do this construction for us. Also, what comes in place is, again, with May now, the animal deposit has recovered. So we are 23, so that means the hunting can continue now. There it is. And we've exported quite a bit now with 270 on the wealth we are. Very good with that. I would really like to order a horse now, as we can afford this. And in the stable, both stables are though full now, right? Yes, we probably will need another stable there as well. I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about this for now. Definitely also want to have some burgages here. We have... Oh, actually we don't have that much timber anymore, but this still works out. Fantastic. All the way to the main road, to the King's Road that we have. And then we already have the farmland again. We just need to make sure that I'm not completely wasting all of this here, right? So probably up to this spot here, we can go with another field. And then I could have a bit more burgages here then as well, working for us, right? And let's actually add a crop rotation. Yeah, let's also go into flax. Then we have wheat and then we have barley. And I might actually also go ahead and have another one here with the flax so that we start on the linen production as well. Still going to take a couple of years anyway before this happens then. Alright, yeah, something is definitely not entirely right. Assign 2 more families to the woodcutter lodge. Definitely want to get more firewood out. I would also like to upgrade the hitching post that we have here at the logging camp, right? This speeds up the transportation of logs then, because we have the animals right next to it. There's also, do I see this right? The horse already. Erhard. Wasn't Erhard an ox? Did it change its race? Another thing we can do, preparation for our first harvest. As we can see, the fields of wheat and barley are in full bloom right now, also here. And I'm really glad they fixed the problem that some of these crops were not visible, and now they are. We could also burn the fields or force an early harvest. None of this is really necessary right now. And in this case here, yeah, what we still need is now a proper production for this. I would actually like to go ahead and have this one, let's just see, for the windmill. Having the windmill here. Now, let's have the windmill a bit further outside, actually. Just have this vision of a windmill a bit further outside. Somewhere over here, beside this beautiful big tree. And field-wise, yeah, we could have a few more fields here. So I think we'll be fine with this area, really. Yeah, looks really good. And then just a communal oven And this one here is producing then some bread for us. And for the oven, probably could have it then here. For the fresh bread. Keep those trees here for now. And of course, we should also not forget about our malt house, since we're also getting a barley harvest in. This I probably would like to have right next to my farmhouse here. So oven, farmhouse, malt house, and then here the windmill as well. A bit further outside, just because I like it that way. And the flour gets then over here to the bakery. This is really the edge of town, right? So what we can still do... Oh, we're out of logs, so I probably will not be able to build more houses. Would really like to get another block in here, and then we keep a bit of a space there to the farm area. And so with this harvest season, I was expecting a bit more sunshine, but you can't have a good weather every day, as they're now bringing in the harvest. And I think it's going to be quite a nice harvest there. Holy cow, yes. That's a lot of wheat that is going to pile up here. So they're harvesting it first, right? The ox is delivering it back then into the farmhouse. And in here, we are going to thrash it then into grain. And that grain we can then produce into flour in the windmill. And this flour we can then make into bread. So it's actually 4 steps. It's actually 5 steps if you take it with every, to the point, to the ladder, right? So it's rather complex getting the bread to the table. And it actually takes quite a bit of time. We have lots of families though, so this process is quickly done. That's a huge harvest here, and there is a huge harvest here of barley actually. So the malt house will also be very busy. All of this. I'm actually going to increase the priority of the windmill now to very high, and the oven then to high, right? Because we still have that food problem. And this is my total supply of food right now. Only 50. It's not high. Meat is coming in a bit more again. With changing the priority, construction begins almost immediately. And a lot of people need to help out for a windmill. And there it is, in all its glory. Let's assign a family to this. And it starts right away. And the oven has also been finished. We can also assign a family to this. The first barley and wheat is in. So we could actually also set now the threshing priority to high. They're actually plowing the fields again right away. So they're not really working on threshing. But since we have so many families there, I hope one of them is actually doing it. There's the malt house, also needed. We have the barley in. That will lead to malt, and with that we can actually make then ale. Field work is never done. In the middle of winter, we've also finished the bakery. I've actually moved it over here to the windmill. It makes more sense, right? So it's no longer on the other side here. It would be a lot of walking around. I would still like to also add a granary to this area, because this, of course, makes also sense since we are having the malt here. We're having the bread here, the flour here. It's all being stored then in the granary. And since that production is only going up, it makes sense to me to do this. Also, something else is that we have more fields. So I would like to go ahead and have the next patch of field then in the green area here somewhere. Alright, so something like that. And we can then also continue with that road network already that we have. We go around this field there. And then along. this field to the King's Road there again as well. That we may still have another field then somewhere here in this green area that we can use. Let's not try to get too much yellow in there as well. Right, so 2 more fields that we have. And once again, we're also going to set up a nice crop rotation for this. Actually, start with flax, then barley, and then wheat. And there's a very high fertility of wheat here. And this one here actually starts with barley, then wheat, and then flax. And policy-wise, we have 0 development points. I'm actually tempted to also go into rye then, because that would be even more, fertility then. There's bread coming in, perfect. And food is actually fine. The problem is fuel right now. We have 41 in reserve right now, by the way. This is not the total goods stored, right? It's 43. So that's unused food, really, wood, really. We have 2 woodcutter lodges. The second one just started production, so it should be fine. And I'm expecting this to go up again. But yeah, we are growing a bit too quickly there, honestly. Faster than I expected. 150 right now. This is always the biggest problem with a very fast growth. But of course, it has to continue like that, right? We have a goal to reach. And that means we actually continue with the expansion. And that means more houses than here right away. So this is the town center area, right? Let's have some 5 more burgages here, right beside the church then. With the spring, an urgent message arrives us and reaches us, and that is the mining pit has ceased working. This was a normal iron mine deposit, right? So it's really not working anymore. I'm going to keep the mining pit here as a reminder of what happens when you're overly excessive with your harvesting. But in that case here, we have enough iron in so that we had another bigger militia unit now working, right? So it's 31 already. But of course, we will need a bit more iron again in the future. I still have to iron, right? I have 93 iron ore in stock right now that still need to be processed then into iron slab and then into weapons. So that's plenty of materials. For the mining pit itself, we're actually swimming a bit too much in clay right now. Almost 200. So I'm going to cease working here. Actually, let's pause it. I don't need to have another unemployed family right now. So rather do it like that. We'll continue to grow, of course. I need to add more burgages again. And yeah, I would really like to finish this area here. A bit towards the bread and bakery area here. And then also this one towards that. It's a bit tiny there. I'll go like this. There you go. And then we have already everything filled. There is room for a few more bakeries here if I want to, right? So I could actually go ahead and make just a road here to this area. And then we could add more bakeries here, the bigger my harvest gets. And this then goes directly to... Actually, let's stop this one, right? This one goes directly then to the granary. So I'm going to make a nice little road here, going over. We could do better than this. Actually remove it again, right? Make it like that. Bit curvy. Could also go like this, honestly. Yeah, I think this makes a bit more sense. And then over here to that. So we have plenty of... actually 2 more communal ovens here. That goes then directly to the granary that is working now. And then we got those burgages here to finish the job. Let's just check it out. I think... 1, 2 at least. 2 additional ones at least that we can squeeze in there. Fantastic. The 2 more fields that we have, the 2 additional fields, will not fully grow this year. It was a bit too late for that. They're still going to give me a bit of a harvest there. Barley is the primary harvest for this year, right? And these 2 over there have then wheat as well. There's also going to be a nice out of that. 3 months we have supply again, so the big emergency in this case is over, hopefully, right? So it was actually rather close, right? Since we're growing so quickly. So we actually need to continue with a fast expansion, especially also in the farming area. That means more fields. Actually, here we are just going to touch the negative area there a bit. We definitely don't want to get into it because that would just lead to a very bad yield. And here I can have another one just along here, right? But also still in the yellow area. And then we have this area there, so I can actually continue with my road. And yeah, we really need to get these going, right? Because we have a fast growth. So I would like to have another field then here somewhere. And then we can have another one here. That is really quite in the yellow area there. And it's probably the end then here, right? Should be fine. And we're also going to set them to primarily wheat, of course, but also barley. This I can keep fallow. I really don't want to swim in flax. And this is actually fallow. And then wheat. And then barley. And yeah, we have a lot of families now working the farmhouse. Which is needed, right? It's quite a lot of farm area to work on.
Does that roof look straight to you? Or does it have a certain jaunty angle?
So far so good. Abbott is continuing to grow. We have repelled the raider attack. The Baron is conquering the last territory. And we'll just see where it all leads. For me, we need to continue with the expansion, of course. And really securing our supplies. Stay tuned.